Hey guys, what's up? So yeah, this is not a trick. That shouldn't happen. Let's talk about it. Alright guys, so the long-awaited review or update or whatever you want to call it on the fake Chinese knockoff of the Trijicon RMR. I bought this thing I think for around 30 bucks and it's been a while. And it's not that this optic has lasted the length of time that I've had it. It's that I have kind of lost interest and I've been doing other things, okay? Basically, like I said, this is a $30 off of, I don't remember, I think I got it off AliExpress or whatever, one of those weird Chinese cheap junk websites, okay? And it looked the part, it acted the part at first, right? It looked to be fine, but once I got it in hand, it was obvious that this thing is not the same quality as a Trijicon RMR. It was blaringly obvious. This is like pot aluminum, like looks like it's made out of old recycled like pop cans and stuff. It's just not super well made, obviously. Obviously, it's not super well made, okay? It's crazy, okay? But whenever I first got this thing and I put it on the gun and I shot it, it seemed to work just fine. And of course, people were like, well, yeah, they're all made in China. All these optics, all these whatevers, they're all made overseas. They're all the same thing. It's just, one company is going to charge you 800 bucks. The other one's going to charge you 25. They're the same thing. I heard these arguments and I was like, nah, even holding the thing in hand, the quality is not the same. It's so not the same. And then after shooting it for a little bit, yeah, it's not the same. The dot didn't appear right. It wasn't the same crispness. It just wasn't the same. And then very shortly afterwards, the dot itself just started giving out. Okay, well, we're diving right into this. The dot itself, after probably no more than 100 rounds or so, it just kind of started, it'd blink out and stuff. And so I'd bend the little connectors, like sometimes you have to do on the real Trijicon RMR, I think the first generation, the Type 1s, I think they had some issues with that because they weren't made in the beginning to be put on a cycling pistol, right? They were more like backup sights and stuff like that. So the Type 2s came out and they fixed that problem. But with the Type 1s, you could get a little piece that would go under the battery because the battery is underneath here. You could get a little piece that would push up on the battery and keep that connection there so it wouldn't flicker and stuff. But this guy, I put tape under there, I put, wedges and different things, I bent the connectors, and they'd finally kind of work, and then it just pooped out. It just didn't work. It just decided it didn't want to work. So I was like, okay, fine. If it can't handle the stout recoil of a real gun, I put it on my airsoft gun, and I would shoot that thing. I was like, it'd be a perfect training aid, because the red dot's still there, the side still cycles, but it's an airsoft gun. It didn't last a day. Like literally, it didn't last very long at all. I tried to use it and it pooped out and it stopped working. I was like, fine, I'm done with this. And then I went back in, I rebent connectors and I finagled it and finally made it work. And then I think that's when this piece came off, which this is just a rubber, the button, I don't know, listen as a car goes by. The button still clicks and the button still works, right? Obviously right now you can look down in there. There's no red dot down in here that you should see coming out of the emitter. The emitter's down here and the battery's in there and the battery's fine. It's not working. Again, it's not working. But that piece came off, which that's just like for a $20, $30 kind of optic thing just to run around and beat around, that's okay. I'm not trusting this thing with any form of reliability. I'm just using it as is. And then finally, I had a buddy of mine shooting it, and I looked down on the ground, and I don't know what happened to it now. I tried to find it, but the glass is gone. The glass completely just popped out. It's gone. So even if you could see the emitter back here, it'd be emitting that LED or whatever just off into nothing land. There's no glass on here. Like there is no glass on this optic. Nothing is in there. It's completely nothing. It's a housing unit now for nothing, even though it doesn't work. So it just started falling apart. So long story short, after 5 minutes of me rambling, these optics, these cheap optics, cheap meaning like 30 bucks, maybe now they're 40 bucks because you gotta have whatever, I don't know. Even for airsoft, okay? Because I put this on an airsoft gun and it still didn't want to work. So even for those things, it is what it is. You pay 30 bucks for it. Maybe if I'd have put it straight on an airsoft gun and run it just as an airsoft, maybe it would have been fine for a while longer and not have pooped out so quick. But even it still died on an airsoft gun. So no, I'm not giving this thing any pass or anything at all. If you wanted to use this as a placeholder, right? If you had 30 bucks or whatever burning a hole in your pocket and you were willing to wait a month for it to come over from China and you wanted to just have it as a placeholder, okay, yeah, go for it. Because I mean, to get a plate cover is probably going to cost you about the same. And this basically does the same thing. It's like a plate cover, pretty much. That's pretty much all it's going to do, in my opinion. So yeah, this gets a big no-go fail from me. I'm just going to keep it on here maybe for a little bit, or use it as a, I don't know if I ever make holsters or something, or if I need to make cuts or things that need to have a RMR cutout or something like that, I could use it, you know, like for holsters, like I said. It's just not worth it, dude. It's just not worth it, y'all. So no, big no-go. I'm done with that optic for now. Moving on to bigger and better things. So for any of y'all that have been wondering what in the world happened to that optic, that's what happened to it. It crapped the bed, pieces came flying off of it, the connection's all busted out. It doesn't work, piece of junk. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that. If you have any specific questions, ask the specific questions. I'll try to get you specific answers. But yeah, that guy's piece of Fruit Loop. Pretty much it. All right, y'all be good to be safe. Appreciate y'all watching and everything, and we will hopefully catch you all in the next video.